Hey YouTube, I know it's been a while since anyone's heard from me on here, and as you can see, my decks have changed. Now, granted, it's been 2 years since I last posted anything, so I hope anyone watching this did expect some kind of change. That said, first deck up, Silverthorn. It's the only one that's double sleeved, that's why it's huge. Got my Luquier sleeves. Got them at last year's regionals actually, 2014. The newest addition to my deck list is Omega Glandios. Just recently finished it actually. My main Shadow Paladin build, this one I'm going to be doing the first deck review, or not review, but build video anyway, in about an hour or so. Then Overlord build, this one's a bit unique compared to most, in a couple ways actually. Maidens for Neo Nectar, I figured why not, because I kept pulling Neo Nectar stuff. Although my build is probably considered along the lines of a budget build, but it still works fairly well. Another build for Shadows, this one specifically for Claret Sword, and yes, this is an SP Aura Geyser. I spent 20 bucks to get random packs and got really lucky. It's fun. And then lastly is Murakumo. Yeah, I originally built Murakumo because of the fact of how much of it I pulled from G-Set 3, but because of the fact that I didn't have another grade 3, I would have had to go Yasui with Magatsu Typhoon. I decided to just get the Magatsu stuff off of another guy who plays Murakumo and doesn't like it. So there we go. Yes. 2014 regionals. I did very terribly actually. I lost round 2 and was bumped out because Break Ride Gans a lot with Platina Ezel, huge numbers turn after turn. And then game 2, I ended up dealing with Polaris break riding over Shad Noir, and I didn't know what Polaris did. I didn't know that you could stand your rear guards with giant numbers, because nobody ever showed me what it did, and everyone kept telling me it was bad. I learned a lesson from that. Lastly, up there, as you can see, barely, 2015 regionals mat. I made it to round 5 actually. That was pretty cool. Round 1 I lost, unfortunately. And for the record, for those of you who weren't aware, this year it was set up for apparently Swiss, but it was double elimination as well. So round 1 I lost. Yeah, it was Aqua Force, and I did really get nothing except for grade 2s and grade 3s. I top decked the one grade 1 that I rode, and that's it. So needless to say, Lambros hurts. Then round 2, my opponent never showed up, so I got the free win. That pushed me through to round 3, where I played against, I believe it was Kagero? No. I can't remember, honestly. I actually cannot remember what I played for round 3. Round 4 was up against a very strange Neo build. I give the guy full credit, though, because he was using a mix of Maidens and Musketeers. He was using Musketeer support to back up the Maidens, because his grade 3s were Vera and Asha. It was really cool, actually. But because of the build that I was using, because I was using Phantom Blaster Abyss with Blaster Dark Diablo, I ended up just retiring too much of his stuff and giving too much pressure for him to hold out. So inevitably he lost, but he did do really well. One of my best games against Neos that I've ever played. Even told him so right after we finished. Then at the round after that, it was round 5, which was unfortunately against Gold Paladin. I lost to Liberator's Prominence Glare, and he didn't even use Glare's skill. Like, what actually happened is he strode, and then it was Spear Cross into getting 2 units, and he had a Bruno. He used the one Aglavale, the Glare Legion Mate Aglavale, Soul Blast, fetch a Bluish Flame, swing. I went Perfect Guard, and he got triple crit on the rear guard with the Bruno column when I only had 20,000 shield in hand and 5 damage. So there was no way for me to survive that unless I ended up getting basically all my heals. So that's where my second loss was. That's how I got bumped out. However, I did make it like tied for longest lasting amongst my group that ended up going. Well, okay, yeah, longest lasting with my group, but second longest lasting for everyone from my area that went. So I can't really complain. That was pretty fun. Anyway, next video that's coming up is the deck build videos for this one, my main Shadow Paladin build, which is not the one I used at regionals. I wanted to use this build, but I couldn't because I was missing 2 cards from it. 6 if you count the promo, because I am using Fierce Bow in this build. Spoiler. I almost used Overlord, which might be the build that I'm doing a video for after, or the Claret Sword build. Everyone was telling me to go Claret Sword, but I decided not to. Anyway, videos coming up soon. Later, guys.